Okay, hi everyone. So today we are here. I am from Team Learn for Exam. Today we are sitting in the IIFT Delhi campus. We have three more students with us today from the current batch. Soman Pochali from the batch of 2018-20. Shubham Makwana from the batch of 2018-20 and Utsav Garg from the batch of 2017-19. Hi everyone, once again. So today we'll be starting off with the strategy session about the exam that you have tomorrow. So first of all the best for tomorrow. So just one more minute till everyone joins in, and then we start. The agenda of the session for today is just to share the strategy with you people, just to tell you how to be calm in the exam. And after that, we'll have a question answer round where you can directly ask us questions, any questions if you have about the college or the exam that we'll be taking tomorrow. We'll be really happy to help. We all are from the Delhi campus. Uh, we all are from the current batch as well. Just another 10-15 seconds and then we start. I hope I am audible to all of you clearly. Please mark a yes if you can hear us properly. And all the questions that you have right here, please just uh, delay them a bit. We'll just share the strategy with you people, and then we can start off with the questions, right? And please, if you do not know about GK, you don't have to suicide before the exam. Just take the exam properly, and you can. It's an easy paper. Do not worry. Hmm. Okay, so first of all, we four will share our D-Day experiences with you all, such that you get an idea of how we cracked the exams. Starting with Soman, then me, then Utsav, then Shubham will catch up. We'll tell you people how we cracked the exam, so that you can get an idea what was running through our minds on the D-Day. So, Soman, do you want to take up from here?
Hello guys, I am Soman from the batch of 2018-20. I scored a 99.04 percentile in the IIFT 2017 exam. So the first thing that you should do is to reach the center well before time. I'd suggest at least half an hour before time. That gives you a time to assess the center, see where you are sitting, prepare yourself well mentally, and talking about the strategy that you should follow. Well, there are always one or two sections where you guys will be strong. Your focus should be to maximize your score there, but do not spend too much time, because as there are at least last year there was six sectional cutoff, which was a change from the four traditional that we used to have. So what you should focus on is basically to maximize your score in the sections you are strong at, and at least try to score as much as you can in the sections that you are weak in. So do not spend too much time. DI generally is very calculation intensive. People tend to spend a lot of time there. Do not do that. To solve questions with accuracy, that is important. Please keep in mind that if you think the paper is tough, it is going to be tough for everyone if you are prepared well, that is. So do not fret over the fact that okay, the paper is looking sort of very difficult. So I mean, you're not scoring very well if you think, because last year cutoff dropped from the traditional 48 to 35, right? So it was a difficult paper. So if it is going to be difficult, it is going to be for everyone. It's not only for you. Other than that, the RC section, RCs traditionally are very long, but the questions are direct. So if you think you do not have much time, then it's better to go to the questions directly and try to find an answer from the passage, right? Other than that, the VA section will be good enough if you are prepared for CAT. Also, other than that, GK, there will be some questions which will be quite easy. So do not, if you have not prepared for GK, ideally you should not have done that. If you have not prepared for GK, there will be 3 or 4 questions which you can solve using your common sense. There was a question last year using a logo, having a logo question, which was quite easy to crack if you knew even one or two logos. So there you can try to clear your GK cutoff. Other than that, I think if you have prepared well for CAT, you will be able to crack IIFT as well.
Okay, now we'll go to Utsav and ask him about what was going through his mind when he went to take the exam and what was his strategy to crack the exam.
Okay, so hi everyone. My strategy was pretty simple. First of all, read the instructions very carefully, because last time instructions were ignored by many people, and people didn't know that there are 6 sections this time instead of 3 or 4 sections compared to previous year. So go through the instructions very carefully, and then you move to your sections, and just focus on clearing the cutoff of each section. You should not try first hand that okay, this section is my strongest section, let's solve all the questions of this section. Rather, you can do what you can do something. You can like go through every section and make sure that you have done 4 or 5 questions in every section. And as my friend said that okay, GK section is a section which many people are afraid of, but just like he said that many questions are very direct questions like logos, headquarters, and these are match the following questions. So if you know one or two options, you can like track each and every question of match the following with ease. So and one thing is that do not try to maximize the number of questions attempted, because it can fetch you negative marking. You should not go in the exam just thinking that okay, I'll attempt 10 questions in each and every section because that is a very good number. It's not the case. Just as he mentioned that previous year paper was quite difficult as compared to 2016 paper. So if a person who went to give 2016 paper, he might think that okay, I'll do 10 questions in quant, which was a good number, but last year he couldn't attempt 10 questions. So if you're able to do only 6 questions, that's good. You should not think that I am lagging behind people, because as you mentioned that paper is difficult for all of you. So you should not go in exam with a preconceived notion that okay, in verbal section I should solve 15, in DI I should solve 10 because that will get me a good percentile. Paper is difficult for all, so just attempt those questions which you are comfortable with. Try to first clear cutoff of each and every section, and then try to maximize the number of questions, and make sure that your accuracy is very good. Do not lose marks in negative marking. So that was my very easy strategy, that manage my time and read the instructions very carefully.
Okay. Before I come to Shubham, I see a lot of questions about where are you guys from, what were your scores, and what are safe cutoffs and scores for IIFT Delhi, guys. First things first, the question that you have, will answer them. But after we share our experiences, that was the first answer. Second, we all are from the Delhi batch, presently studying here. Third, we are all are 99 percentilers, if you want to know that. And yes, please wait for another 10-15 minutes before we share our strategy. And then we'll take all the questions you have. You won't go at your home empty handed. So please wait. Please be patient. And now I'll come to Shubham, who will share his strategy, what he had his mind on the exam day.
Hello guys, I'm a BCom fresher from Ahmedabad. So till far now, you guys might have heard so many strategies and rules to follow the exam, but I would go on a bit of a personal part. What I actually faced on the day of the exam, the D-Day. So the post effect of the cat was there, and I guess that my cat was devastated, and I was in a mood that I'll obviously take another year to appear for Cat 18, and so I didn't had that stress factor on my mind that no, I have to crack that IFT. I was in the relaxed mood that it's just an exam. I'll appear for it and let's see what the result comes. So according to me, that played a major role in getting the results, as I was in a free state of mind that there was no stress upon me or anything that hurdles the result. So yes, all these small things matters, that you should reach on the time well before the exam, and looking seeing your campus once before going to exam is a good thing, as you will familiarize and your brain cell will not become too active on seeing something new. So it's scientifically proved that if you go to some new place, you usually get the feeling that no, I've got into something new place and it's not very familiar. So it's nice if you visit your, you should have visited your place of the exam. And coming to the other thing, you should manage your sections properly. And other small thing is just be sure that you do not drink too much water, because it might be a small thing, but it matters a lot in IFT, because it's pen and paper exam and you cannot afford even a single minute to waste. So that's it. And just my mantra is to take it as another mock, but with the 100% seriousness. Just give it a shot and let's see what happens. That's it.
Yeah, I was just listening to my having that grin on my face, about his strategy. Okay, so coming to my strategy, I hope you have seen my previous videos as well, where I've shared my personal experiences and also the common strategy that you should take. Now, for me, IIT really mattered a lot because CAT was not that good in terms of DILR, where I managed a pretty high score in that, but still, it's kind of an area where you do not know where you will end up with, right? So you need to take all the exams very seriously that you have in front of you. For me, since it was in pen paper test, it was really helpful for me because I'm always good with pen paper test, and I hope almost all of you are good with pen paper tests because you get to swipe between sections very fast. And you can mark the answers, you can skip questions, you can move back to the last question very fast. These are not at all difficult to do in a pen paper test. So that advantage I had with me. Coming to the sections, I'm always a very patient reader of instructions where there might be certain subtle surprises that might come in every year, and I also tell you people, please do read the instructions to know that it might or it might not be the same as previous year, right? So please make sure to read the instructions very properly. About GK, I was not at all a very good student in GK. I didn't know that much in GK. Around a week of study of all the PDFs, all the compendiums that the different institutes provide you, I just read all of those, nothing more. I could attend somewhere in 5 6 questions. The only thing I kept in my mind is not to get negatives, because the cutoffs are somewhere around 1, and if you get a negative of minus 1.77, you usually you are going to that phase where you are just missing your cutoffs by a marginal amount. I've seen lots and lots of students clearing the overall cutoff, getting a very low score in GK for which they don't get a GDPI call. So please do not do that. VARC, one section becomes easy, one section becomes tough. VA always on the tougher side, I would recall. RC, whereas is on the easier side, questions are factual. So I had this motive in my mind that I'll target those factual questions, get the maximum amount of marks I can, at least get around 30% of the people, because I know there are people who also get 40% of the entire score from just this section. Coming on to quants, which was always my area of interest and you can say strength. But my major issue was, I used to maintain time pretty well. So I made sure that I don't over attempt by losing quite some amount of minutes, because 120 minutes is all you get to solve those questions you have. You don't have to solve all questions, right? There are 120 odd questions in the paper, upon which you only need to solve somewhere around 60. So why look for all the questions? Just go to the easier questions first, solve them, and move on to the next section. You do not get an advantage. See, IFT does not have this. It does not have any scaling purpose, right? So if you solve a very difficult question, your scale score does not go that high. So it's always better to solve the easy questions first, then move on to the next sections, and maximize your score that way. Then we had that horrific DI section, which all of us face, and we didn't even have an idea of how to solve questions. Uh, because if you see 2017's IFT paper, the DI was calculative as well as logical. I started solving the first set. I could not get any answer. I just looked down the options. Nothing was matching. I was terrified. I thought that, yes, obviously this is a difficult paper, so the cutoff will be low, but still I need to score some amount of marks, right? So for DI, I would suggest you for LR as well, and yes, IFT has that knack of producing one easy section between the two. So if last year LR was on the easy side, DR was uh, very horrific. This year we might expect. I'm focusing on this word might because we're not setting the paper, right? So we might expect the a DI paper to be on the easier side, LR to be on the difficult. However, if LR is on the difficult side, please do not get stuck on the puzzles, which fairly seems easy on your first glance. IFT has this knack of just pulling you down, not from the marks point of view, but from the time point of view, because they know कि अगर तुम्हारे पास time नहीं होगा, you won't be able to answer more questions, right? So please keep a note on that. Coming to DI, I feel this year DI will be easy. So not that many logic based sets, calculation based sets, as someone already pointed out. So you need to be very accurate with your calculations. IFT is not that kind of a paper which will have four options as 1,000, 5,000, 20,000, 3 lakhs. It will have options as 1000, 1002, 1005, 1007. So you need to be very accurate while you perform your calculations. One thing I would suggest you: please keep your approximations well in place. Please keep the 10% rule, 1% rule well in place. And also, if there is a question you can see that can be done through the units digit, like the sum of 10 numbers, the sum of 10 numbers, you essentially don't need to add all the 10 numbers. The options might contain four numbers which are four different unit digits. Why not just check the unit digits of the 10 different numbers and just mark that? That's all. So you need to be very logical, not only in the idea section, also in the idea section, as all of us told you, right? So please be very logical. Keep that mind open to you. Keep that part open for yourself, and be stress free. Do not waste time, and yes, please do not try to cheat in the exam. IFT sends very strenuous rules to the invigilators that if they find anyone in the exam while cheating or looking at each other's paper, then simply cancel out your paper. It's not this or any other exam where you can just it depends upon the centers as well, but still, please do not try to look at others papers or try to cheat. A common doubt that all of you have are: watches are allowed or not? Yes, watches are allowed. You can carry watches, you can carry water bottles, you can carry everything. But the point is, do not carry. Just give me one moment, guys. Okay, but yes, do not carry any kind of electronic device. If you have an Apple Watch, just don't flaunt that in front of your invigilator. See, I've got an Apple Watch. I've got an Apple Watch. He'll just come and take that from you, because those are not allowed. Keep a low profile if you do not have anything other than that. I'll ask you to keep a low profile. Be patient. Be very much strategic in taking the paper, because that's the major thing you need to have, not the knowledge. Obviously, knowledge is important, but strategy plays a more important role in the exam. And try to maximize your scores. I personally suggest people to please score somewhere around 15% extra than the cutoff that usually you have, because IFT has a very high weightage to your exam entrance test score. Not publicly disclosed, but somewhere around 50%, we assume. So it matters a lot. Your test score matters a lot. So please be very sensible about that. Attempt more and more questions, but while attempting that, please do not over attempt, and please do not get a hit on the accuracy. You need to take care of that your accuracy remains north of 90%. It should not fall below that. Okay, now that we have finished up with our strategies, we'd like to take all of your questions that you have. uh, our scores, as I told you, we had a 99. Not all of us had a 99, north of 99 percentiles. So depends on what marks do you get, for getting that percentile. Like he scored a north of 50 to get a 99 plus. We had to score a north of 40 to get a 99 plus. So you can understand a difference of 10 marks in around such low marks, almost around 20-25%, which is a lot if you calculate on the quantitative terms. Okay, questions now. So jackets allowed? Yes, jackets are allowed. They won't. See, they are human beings, right? They are not there to molest you people. They are good people. Just be nice to them. That's all. Keys or wallets, you won't be allowed to keep anything as of such in the exam hall. Important topic. Okay, just one more minute. Just one more minute. I'll just say you important topics for quants and verbal aptitude. Now, verbal in the verbal section, you get questions majorly focused upon vocabulary. So if you have a very strong edge on that, you can answer questions. If not, you can. I'm very sorry, but you can answer questions. You get questions are based out of grammar, phrasal verbs, parts of speech, putting in the commas, parajumbles might appear in the paper, but still speculative because we are not making the paper. About quants, you get easier questions based out of mensuration and algebra. Algebra specifically speaking, I would say functions, logarithms, and sequence and series. Look also for search and indices if you if you do not have a proper knowledge about that. Arithmetic questions are easy, but they are very lengthy. So even if you can crack the logic of the question, it will take you 2-3 minutes to end up with the answer. For you to end ending up with the answer, and I don't want you guys to do that, because that essentially cuts your time down by quite a substantial amount. And please do not do that. Take your time very seriously. You only have 120 minutes to answer. Okay, important topics for GK. I would suggest you important topics for GK. I would tell you sports. Then you have books and authors. General knowledge 2018, the current running year. Then logos, headquarters, and CEOs are a hot favorite topic for IFT setters to give questions on. But yeah, they are also tilted towards sports. So you should have a good knowledge about sports as well. Order of selections, order of sections, I would say you go with the GK paper first, then come to English. English means both verbal and RC, then quants, then at the end LR or DI. One paper will be easy, one section will be easy, one will be difficult. Please take 1 minute to decide, not more than that, which is easy or which is difficult. And you know well, Piyush, you don't have to suicide in everything that you cannot do, right? Please do not worry, it's an easy paper, you don't have to do anything as such. Prepare well, keep your head calm. 78 questions in quant is good or bad, depends upon the paper, Rahul, I would say. But yes, if it's a difficult paper, 7 to 8 attempts are good, provided you make all of them correct. If it's an easy paper, somewhere around north of 12, I would recommend north of 12. What if VA has around 14 questions of vocabulary? No, no, no. It won't have those many questions of vocabulary. Even if it does, the level of the cutoff will fall because people are not that good with IIFT vocab. I have to ask you horrendous questions. Do not go with flukes, please. Do's and don'ts for the D-Day and what to take, what not to take. Please carry anything except electronic things, cheating papers, notes and all those. Please do not do that. Wallets and everything. You need to keep everything outside in your bag and something. Which section to maximize? I would say RC. Look out for RC to maximize. Apart from that, any one section from LR and DI, whichever comes easy. Okay, how to check if difficult or not? Like if you can solve it, if you can solve questions really fast, it's an easy paper. If you cannot solve it, if you're not getting the logic, then you need to take a bit of time to understand that the question is difficult. Thank you, Varsha, for that wonderful comment. Are we provided with pen paper? Nothing. You are not provided with anything. You just get a paper, I guess. Do we get a paper? We get a paper. Okay, so we get a paper, and you have to carry your pens and pencils. Please carry a pencil, because in the OMR you are not allowed to mark with a pen. I had to borrow a pencil from from the person sitting next to me. Any suggestions for verbal? I would say any suggestion for verbal? I would say if you're strong at vocab, go for those. If you're not, just leave them out and solve the easier questions on grammar and everything. Do foreign words come? Might come. IFT has the knack of giving you foreign words. Do you have separate cutoffs for DI and LRC? If there are 6 sections, you will have 6 cutoffs. If you have 4 sections, you'll have 4 cutoffs. So that depends year to year. Please read the instructions very properly before attending the paper. Since vocab is vast and grammar was tough last year, well, grammar was a bit easy last year because I scored in my verbal paper through grammar and paraphrases and all those questions we have. Can we get extra paper if you need? Totally depends upon the invigilator. We have lots of spaces. You don't have to worry about those. Just keep your head cool and you'll be fine. What was your strategy with RC? See, RC, yes. Do you skim or read it properly? I hope all of us, we first skim the passage and then read it if we miss something, because the questions are factual. So we don't have to, do a very deep reading to understand the underlying meaning of sentences which comes in CAT. Okay, how many minimum questions attempt is required for each section? I would say that also is very relative, depends upon the level of difficulty of the paper, cannot be commented as such. But yeah, try to keep around 20-25 questions at a minimum, 25% questions at a minimum. Whatever level of difficulty of the paper is, you need to do. Formula for throwing the ball from a height problem. Okay, so the formula is D into A plus B by A minus B, where D is the initial distance from which the ball is dropped from. A by B is the ratio of till which the ball jumps up and down. D multiplied by A plus B in the numerator. In the denominator you have B minus A, or mod of A minus B, anything you want. What's your name? Okay, so he is Soman. I'm Atreya, Utsav, and Shubham. I have thought of allotting. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But Ayush, please make sure you know the level of difficulty. So if it's an easy paper, invest more time. How about DI? How many questions will be safe for the cutoffs? Depends on the paper. But I would say those, if it's on the difficult side, 3-4 questions. If it's on the easy side, try to maximize your score, 12-13 questions. Strategy with quants, as said, easy questions first, algebra first, and not those lengthy arithmetic questions. Please tell how do we select easy sets for DI? Like this depends on your practice. अगर तुमने अच्छे से practice किया वो तुमको दिख जाएगा. Good, Varsha, good. Section was 2 parts. Cutoff would be section or whole. Nee, if a section has 2 parts, as in last year, we had verbal and RC, so different cutoffs. Were you able to read all the passage in RC? Were you able to read all the passage in RC? Yes, we do that because RC is a score maximizer section, right? Can we mark the answers in question paper? Definitely yes. We have to mark the answer in the pen or pencils. How many passages should we go for RC? I would like someone to take this question. How many passages?
Depends actually. Every passage, every RC will have some setter questions. There are very few inference-based questions. You should not go for that because they'll consume more time. If there are direct fact-based question, you can just pick out that part from every passage. There will be some questions where you can pick out the answer just from the passage. It will be given in the passage, but the passages will be long. So skim through it and go directly to the question and see whether you can recall reading that particular line or particular phrase in the passage.
Okay, can we carry pencils with us? Yes, you can carry pencils with us. IIFT Kakinada skill not up, so cannot come. Can we carry our phones? Obviously, you cannot. Please do not ask us silly questions. Okay, overall, how many questions to attempt with 90% accuracy? Total depends upon the people. If it's on the higher level of difficulty, lower number of questions. I would suggest somewhere around 50 questions. If it's an easy paper, your attempt should go as high as 65. Okay, how many sets to solve? Minimum, if I am weak at DI. Shubham, how many questions if weak at DI?
If you are weak at DI, I think 2 sets would do, in which you should attempt almost at least 4 to 5 questions at least.
Okay, do they provide locker? No, they do not provide locker. Okay, can we carry a watch? Yes, you can carry a watch. Safe score to clear all cutoffs. It depends upon the paper, Piyush. These all depends upon the paper. If DI is hard, then how many questions? Just as he said, 4 to 5 each. IIFT Kakinada might start this year. Any information on this? We are not expecting. Okay, we are just students. These are things for the admin category. We are not allowed. No, we do not have that much information. I'm extremely sorry, guys. Watches are allowed. Yes. Will it be possible to maximize the score via the GK section? Obviously, if you're good at GK, you score a lot. Sir, how much time should we spend on each section? I would say GK 5, verbal ability 10, RC 20, quantitative aptitude 25, LRDI total combined 40. You'll have some more minutes left. Come back to the sections which you feel you can score more and answer around 5-6 questions. Below average student, can I be shortlisted? Yes, you can be shortlisted. Yes, IIFT Delhi and Kolkata has the same cutoff. Does inferences come as per excerpts? Palash might come. Last year it did came, but this year might not. Might come, might not. Depends. We are not making the paper. I'm absolutely sorry on that. How about reading questions first? Yes, obviously. I would also suggest that read the questions first and then come to the passage and answer and see. Anything new to expect? We do not know that. Can we put mobile phones? Yes, you can put your phones in your bag. Do we have to normalize your raw score and actual score? Do we? No, we do not do that. We do not. Taking a break from job or entrance preference is worth taking risk. Shubham, what was your strategy? Taking a break from job, or you just give the exam?
I would say it totally depends upon your situation, but if you feel that you are not okay or not satisfied with your job, I would definitely say that you should take a break and just go for it.
Okay. What are the things to take in the exam? Documents and all you need to carry. You need to remember your 10th and 12th marks. They tell you to put those in your paper. Carry those documents if you need. Yes, valid ID proof. That's required. Carry pens, pencils, erasers, sharpeners, all those things. Watches, water bottles. You don't want yourself to be dehydrated while the exam's running on. Still, it's winter, so how's the placement average package? You can get all the information in the placement brochures. We are not allowed to share that information, but yeah, placement information website पे available है. You can go and check. Uh, we can average placement last year was
Reported was 18.5 lakhs for
18.
domestic placements.
For domestic placements. So we have lots of international placements as well. If you, as you know, the only campus, the campus which provides you with the largest number of international offers in India. What are the things? Okay, already covered. What was your total number of attempts? Rahul, do not remember that. Somewhere around 60 last year. I took the exam last year, somewhere around 60. Cutoff for LR depends upon year to year.
Last year, the highest cutoff was in LR because LR was very easy.
Yes.
The cutoff was 5.67 as far as I remember,
Mhm.
because LR was very easy. So it depends.
Yes. Kara is allowed. Yes, Kara is allowed. Is it necessary to carry 10th and 12th mark sheet Xerox? Not necessary. Just keep that number in your head. That's all. Is the RC answer to the first question and starting of the passage and so on? To the first question, starting of the passage. Hi, you can do that also. Should we include marks of additional subjects? Just best of five. Best of five. ठीक है? GK के लिए जैसे बोल दिया. Those were the important pointers. Sports, authors, books and authors. Then you have current GK, headquarters, CEOs, logos. Engineering student needs to be from IIT. No, not at all. I was not from IIT. So not at all. How much they take for bank loan process? These questions can be answered on later stage. Do they ask synonyms, antonyms? Yes, they do ask. They might ask those questions. Yes. Does cutoff mean will be called for? Yes. Cutoff. If you clear the cutoff, you'll just call for it. It'll just be called for interview. Nothing more than that. Important topics for LR. LR asks you puzzles. You know, IIFT asks you puzzles. IIFT Kakinada considered this year. We do not know the exact information. Might or might not. Sorry. Foreign words and antonyms, how to tackle those. Foreign words के लिए like एक approach होती है, no? French words पहचानने की. There's a video by Gurpreet sir. Please watch that. They just ask the percentage of 10. Yes, yes. Just the percentage of 10th and 12th. That's all. We have a very high PPO turnout. You can check that on the brochure. Is the GK tougher section than other? Yeah, GK is tougher because people don't read. If someone lost the call by 0.25 marks, what should be his strategy for tomorrow? I would just say keep the same strategy, try to maximize more, keep the accuracy, or try to higher up the accuracy. Is LR agar easy ho to kitna ideal attempts rahega? I would say somewhere around 14, 15, 14, 15, 16. SC cutoffs, yeah, our website पे available होती है. Please see that. Any tips for DI approximations? 10% rule, 1% rule, those. Answer with tick. Yes, pencil. Brijesh, pencil. I ruined my cat, sir. I'm ready to spoil my entrance too. I am demotivated, sir. Do not be that. Take the exam properly. You know, I know there are lots to lose, lots to gain, but keep your mind cool. I was in a similar situation that you are right now, but I cracked it. Why can't you? Right? What are the things allowed with you while sitting in the hall? Like watch and yeah, these are allowed. These are allowed, not an issue. Sectional cutoffs, yes, there will be sectional cutoffs obviously this year. What will be used for filling OMR sheet pencils? Already told. How many mocks did you guys give? How many mocks? Someone?
Well, I will be honest, I did not give any IIT specific mock because my CAT preparation was good enough for that. But I was mentally prepared to give how much time to which section. That helped me a lot. I did not give a single minute more to any section, whether the paper was easy or not. Later on, when I had around 15-20 minutes left at the end, I went back, tried the hard or the medium level questions, and attempted them.
Okay. Even I didn't take any mocks, just the last year papers. Just the last year papers. Academics do not matter. It does not matter, right? Why in the GDPR?
Weightage is not given officially, but you can assume that maximum to maximum 5 to 10% is given to your academics.
Yes, officially it is not mentioned. However, if you have bad academics, you can justify that in your interview if asked.
Okay. How is career launcher mocks? Career launcher mocks are free. How to approach the verbal section? I would say if you are good with vocab, do those. If you're not, please move on with the grammar and the other parts. Should I mark answers side by side or at the end? Side by side. Rohan, side by side. Please do not make that mistake of answering. At the last you might miss on a few things. Rahul already told you can check out the brochure. We get around 30, more than 30% every year. 30% of our total students every year. 10th and 12th marks matters in GDPI, not officially, but not an issue. I want to know the checklist of things, mandatory ones, please. Pencils, then you carry a water bottle and all those.
ID card. Please,
ID.
Please do not forget to keep your ID card. Last year, a few candidates were turned away from the center because they forgot to carry any valid government ID card. So be prepared for that.
Okay. I'm traveling from another city. Can I put my bag in the? Yes, yes, you can put your bag in the test center. Not an issue. Should we mark the answer section wise or side by side? Section. I would ask you, do the question, mark the answer. Do the question, mark the answer. Please do not leave out. Right. Good attempts in QA enough. I would say 7 to 8 with 90% plus accuracy. Systematic approach to attempting the paper. I would say follow the time precisely, follow the section order precisely, and accuracy obviously. Ignoring my question again and again. I'm sorry, singer Sudhanshu, I didn't see that. If you could please, mark it once more. My scores in mocks were around 28 to 30. What can I expect? I do not think so. We do not have that low cutoffs. You can carry water bottles, enough, not an issue. Watches are allowed. Wallets are not allowed, I guess. What would be the expected paper pattern this year? We expect to be on similar lines as last year. We expect. Now we are not making paper, so can you please let me know the expected cutoff for each section? You can go to the website, IMS, CL में सब कुछ दिया हुआ है. You can go and check. Ideal number of attempts in QA, again, I would say 7 to 8. How many questions one should attempt in DI section depends upon the paper. If easy, then 13, 14. If difficult, then 5, 6. Any page for GK for last minute preparation, you can go on to Learn for Exam or Napoli. In Learn for Exam, we have lots of tests as well. You can give that. If we clear the minimum cutoff, we'll get a call. Yes, you'll get a call, provided that you clear the overall cutoff. Preference of sections, I would say GK, verbal ability, RC, quantitative aptitude, LR, DI. Mobiles are not allowed inside, obviously not. You can keep your mobile in the bag and place the bag in front of the invigilator. Okay, guys, then that will be all that we, about C9 Hostel. Okay, so we three are from C9 Hostel. He was also
from C9.
Yes, we all four are from C9. So it's a wonderful place to stay. Wonderful.
Yeah. If you come here, you'll experience the C9 bonding like nothing else.
Yes. Cutoffs for general last year was 35.50. Last year was 48.7, if I'm not wrong. Right. Okay, guys. Then that will be all. How to approach GK section? I would say, जो आता है वो करो, जो नहीं आता है do not. Yes, do not take a risk. Okay, then that will be all. We are all 99 plus scorers, guys. Campus life is awesome. Campus life is awesome. Strategy, I would say, time बहुत सही से देखना, time सही से देखना, accuracy high रखना. That's all. Okay, guys, then that will be all from our end. We wish you all the best for your exam. Keep your heads cool. Please do not worry about the exam. It's an easy exam. बहुत easily तुम crack कर लोगे. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है that you won't be able to crack. Take care of yourself. Keep your heads cool. Drink water a bit. आज अच्छे से सो जाओ. ठंडे दिमाग से exam देना. Patiently keep a note of your accuracy. Keep a note of your time, and that's all. So all the best from all four of us. I hope you should all.
Yeah, all the best, guys.
Okay, we'll see you soon in the campus. We hope to see a lot of people from here in this campus. Okay, then that will be all, guys. Bye bye. Good night and take care. Bye bye.